Well, this is day 32, and there's no way around it this morning. Just an hour of meditation, and the last 20 minutes, the floodgates opened. I used to have a lot of energy on crying as much as I do, mostly because of people's opinion about it or people's comments about it. By the time I turned 50 and my hormones went through their rage in the cage, I just began to love myself in a deep and profound way. And whether this is hormonal or more about the heart opening, which is probably really what it is, it doesn't really matter because it's happening. And I accept it. I'm 2 days away from this is what it looks like when people try to stop tears from coming. They do weird things with their mouths and they stop talking in the middle of a sentence. I leave for New Jersey on Saturday, and it is never easy for my heart, to leave places. And you would think, with the many times I have left Alaska to go to New Jersey and left New Jersey to go to Alaska, this would be a different moment, but it's not. Because I have beautiful people here that are so generous to me. It is remarkable. Give thanks to the people in your life that are remarkably generous to you, whether it's with their love or their support or their time. It's just so true how much we need each other. I could not be doing any of this. I could not be living this crazy, off-the-shelf life if it wasn't for my dear friends who put a roof over my head, who put food in my belly, who comfort me, who hug me, who listen to me, who support me. It is absolutely remarkable. And now I'll go back to my mom's house and she will love me and feed me, and I am looking forward to connecting with her. And interestingly enough, because it's not always the case, I'm looking forward to going back to New Jersey. I mean, maybe it's just because the energy up here this trip has just been so, discombobulated. One of my most favorite words. And I know that's because I've gone through and I'm going through such a major freaking deconstruction of the self. I mean, I was thinking about that this morning in my meditation. And so for anybody who thinks that meditation is about not thinking, let me tell you, I don't know who told you that, but that's not the meditation I know. An hour of meditation is mostly 58 minutes of my thoughts freaking nonstop across the screen of my mind. My thoughts, your thoughts, everybody's thoughts. It's like, what the hell? Who makes these things? And, when do you slow down the manufacturing of the thoughts? But in any event, now I don't even remember what it was I was thinking because I have more thoughts that took my attention away. 58 minutes of something and 2 minutes of something else. Last night, my friend and I did our webinar, Spiritual Response to Donald Trump, or to President Trump, rather. And you know what? I'm so proud of us because we did it. This has been an idea that has been worked over for about 3 months now. Our friendship, took a tender turn at one point. But we were inspired to stay with it, and we did it. We had 17 people tuned in, and all the technology worked, and we recorded it, and it was good for us to do it. We needed to empty ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at some point you got to either do something or shut up about it, and we needed to do something about it, and we did. Just super proud of ourselves. I know for my friend it was a huge stretch out of a paradigm of speaking in front of a live audience, coming to an online presentation and all of that. And I'm so proud of him. He just kept letting go of his preferences and his limited thinking. He just kept letting go, and he stepped into it. And I'm so proud of both of us for doing that. And now we'll just see. We'll just see what we're inspired to do next. Damn, I wish I could remember what it was I was talking about in that meditation. Oh well. Irreconcilable distances is the crux of my feeling state today as I prepare myself to say goodbye to friends and to this beautiful place. And, I know it's not forever, and it's like, why all the quote-unquote drama. But that comment right there is coming from outside of me. And that goes back to that little boy that I told you about and that little girl that's within me right now. It's like, don't be harsh and rough to the tender you. Don't be harsh and rough rather, to the sweet presence within us that too often we snuff out and we dismiss and we chastise and, say get over yourself kind of energy to. No, the little girl, the little boy inside of us wants to be a part of our everyday living. We need their sweetness. We need their innocence. We need their wisdom in our everyday living. If more of us brought that little girl or little boy out into our expression, things would be a whole lot different. That is for sure. I mean, I look at Donald Trump and I see a little boy that is still, trying to get love and attention and approval. I mean, my gosh, I've just never seen a public figure like this so desperate for approval, so desperate to be seen, so desperate. I mean, when you look at it through the eyes of compassion and empathy, it's just like, wow, got to pray for this guy. Got to pray for everybody and affirm that there's something great and magnificent unleashing itself through each and every one of us. So, yeah. Lastly, we had our first follow-up phone call yesterday. The 4 butterflies that have been leaping for the last 32 days. It was wonderful to see everybody, except, of course, my camera wasn't working on my laptop, and though I got it fixed, it still wasn't working. Damn you, Mercury retrograde and the 17 other 100 planets that are freaking in retrograde and have made this a very challenging time. I don't care what anybody says. That's something I definitely notice when these planets do their thing. But it was so great to see everybody. And I gotta say, the theme of the check-in was everybody's a bit fucked up. And it was just like, okay, all right, we left that weekend and something happened that we have never been able to put back together again. And when you have a major internal deconstruction like we have had, and all the pieces and the parts are freaking strewn across the floor, and somebody burned the instruction sheets, and you're like, what the hell? And you don't even know if the parts fit together anymore. And then you try to put it back together and you realize, oh, you're missing pieces. And then you realize you're never going to find those pieces. And you're like, well, what do I do now? And this is the proverbial, clear the table and start again with fresh pieces that don't even exist, that aren't even freaking on the table. You wait for somebody to deliver the parts so you can put it back together again. And you're not even putting it back together again. You're just constructing something else. Man, I tell you, I would love to be inside the chrysalis of the caterpillar to the butterfly. But then I think, well, you don't really need to because this feels like it. Oh, yeah. This is day 32.